Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Hello guys, welcome back to the ESL Pro League China Closed Qualifiers. It's now time for our second and final match of the day. And it's the two Korean teams going up against each other. Unfortunately for them, they meet each other in the bracket so early on in the piece. But with that being said, it was kind of a surprise that they even met each other at all, because Gosu, well, A, they weren't even really supposed to be in these qualifiers, and B, didn't think that they would actually get here. I thought that they would drop to Flash, but they got the 2-0 over them. Yeah,
exactly. Credit where it's due. They managed to get in here, and then they've got a 2-0 to start themselves off. So, I mean, hey, look, you take it, right? You take it.
Yeah, exactly. And like we said about how eHome was going to have to play it faster against MVP, if they wanted to win their match there, well, I think Gosu probably are going to have to do the same thing here against MVP PK. eHome got close, but not close enough. And Gosu, with their track record up against MVP, I think their chances are fairly slim here.
Yeah, look, it's not a great track record for them. We just had a quick look at it during the break there. Over the history, I'm not sure if it was last 3 months. I think it was all time on HLTV, but it was 0-9. I think the highest amount of rounds that Gosu got in any one of those was 12 or 13.
13.
So
in their last matchup, but by and large, it was pretty one-sided for MVP. Yeah, like single digits for the most of the results for MVP. And again, there has been, I guess, fairly recent roster changes for these two teams. Obviously, HSK's gone from MVP, so he might be able to take something with him to that Gosu roster. But Zeta's now come from Gosu to MVP. But when I've been watching this Gosu roster through some of the open qualifiers and through their match against Flash, it was not that impressive, I've got to be honest. Like, we saw some okay matches out from them, but by and large, I actually really felt like it was HSK that was the one that was dragging them through a lot of these matches. In particular, I hate to be the guy that sort of rags on a single player, but Sioke has not impressed me at all here for Gosu so far, and he is the AWPer. So if you've got a guy that's picking up the AWP every single round and they're getting what, like 36 ADR, and is what Gosu got from him in his last matchup against Flash, you're probably better off not buying the AWP.
Yeah, you could almost get 36 ADR, I think, by throwing a well-timed HE every round.
Yeah.
Probably. So, I mean, yeah, 35 ADR is not, or 36 is not an AWPer's stat. Like, every shot with the AWP, you should be getting, not every shot, I'm not going to be too mean,
every connection.
Like, every connection you get should be like 50 damage plus, right? Assuming that's allowing for like a leg tag through a wall or a body tag through a wall. Then leg shots are 85, obviously kills are between 110 and 410, depending on if you get a headshot or not. So, like, the ADR should be better than 36 for an AWPer is the point that I'm making. Again, we don't want to single out one player. Like, he's not going to be the reason they lose today. You can never boil down any loss to any one player. That's just not fair. But still,
if they're going to win, he needs to step up, I think.
Certainly.
From the performances that we've seen. That's not to say that necessarily he's going to have a poor performance today, but history apparently repeats itself. Anyway, if it does, HSK is going to have a good day here, because I seem to see HSK have a good performance every single time I watch Gosu, and perhaps that's just because he's the most experienced player in this roster now, having been on that MVP side for quite a while. He's learned a few things, and he's able to transfer that into these matches against Gosu. But the matches that I've actually watched Gosu playing, they lost to Vici in the open qualifier number 2. They did make it fairly close, but it was a 2-0 loss in the end anyway. And they also did beat Flash. Now, Flash was kind of going through a bit of a roster shuffle. They're in a kind of a poor position at the moment, so I was surprised to see them lose that, to be fair, but you can kind of understand how Gosu's managed to find a win there. Vici, kind of, yeah, I mean, it was close, but not close enough. And I think now that they're going up against MVP, this is going to be the toughest opponent that I've seen them play against in recent times. And it doesn't really make me feel too confident here for Gosu.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched Gosu really much since they've added HSK. But the other thing is, if he is playing well in every single game, it could well be that they're like, all right, we've got this guy who's been an MVP for a while, he's got a bit of experience, we're going to enable him. So it could just be that, not to say that he's playing badly, but he could just be getting these superstar performances because they're just like, right, we're going to hard enable this guy. We're going to do all the util for him, make space around him to get all of these frags. And we've seen it happen before, like a player who either goes from a lesser skilled team to a higher skilled one and goes from like HK's done a higher skilled team to a lower tier one. And in the lower tier team, they're almost better. Like the most notable case for me in terms of under-delivering, this is looking internationally, but Kusta, when he moved from enemy to liquid, on enemy, he was set up to just be this AWPer that would hard carry them, and he would. He was was ridiculous, and he went to Liquid and was underwhelming.
Yeah.
But it's all about being set up as this like star player. So we'll have to see if that's what they've done with HSK.
Maybe, and what a storyline it would be for Gosu if they were to get their way through these qualifiers into the season finals. They weren't, like I said, meant to be in these qualifiers, but it would be a bit of a Cinderella story, a fairy tale finish for Gosu if they were to get to those finals. December 7th to 9th is when they are, and in Odense, Tim. We're back at the same venue, or the same location at least, the same city as previous season.
If I asked you to pronounce that arena, how would you go?
I would say Sperkassen Finn.
Cool. That sounds way more European than what I would have gone for, so you're probably still not right.
I don't know if that's correct, though, but it could be.
We can say Odense, so as Australians, we've done it.
Yeah, exactly.
Success. We've done, that's our
well,
limited European
I remember when Odense was the first, for the first time, we were saying Odense a lot.
I think Odense is what I went for all the time.
Yeah,
which is very Australian and not right.
Yeah. But anyway, regardless, that's where the season finals are, and that's when the season finals are. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye on things, and I'm sure you can grab a ticket. Probably not if you live in Australia.
I mean, you still can. You just got to get there.
Yeah. You have to get there. And what we are going to have to get as well, Tim, is into the vetoes, because they are now ready for us to have a look at. So we'll probably see a little bit of an Inferno here as well from MVP, especially given that it's not banned away. Dust 2 taken out from Gosu, overpass, perma veto for MVP pretty much.
I am surprised that Gosu allow Nuke through and choose that and say that Dust 2 is what they want to ban. But MVP didn't pick it, so we'll see what they do pick here. So Mirage and Inferno.
Especially because MVP didn't look so crash hot there on Dust 2 in their last matchup.
They also didn't look great in Inferno, in fairness.
Yeah, 2 great maps in theory to start things off here for MVP. Let's see what the final map in the pool will be. And again, it'll be Nuke. So Train, not one that Gosu want to jump onto either. Mirage, Inferno, Nuke. You kind of look at those and you think they're pretty much the 3 best maps for MVP on paper. Yeah. I mean, you could maybe say like Keish is not too bad of one for MVP either, but they've essentially chosen Nuke as that final map, getting rid of Keish. Like either way, if it went to Keish or it went to Nuke, MVP have got a fantastic map pool here.
This is actually the identical veto, except Dust 2 and Mirage are swapped. Oh, and Inferno is the second map instead of first, but it's literally the exact same bans as last map pretty much, or last series pretty much, but I know I said last time that I thought MVP for sure had Inferno and Nuke, and they ended up taking Dust 2 and Nuke. Now, against Gosu, I think they very well could have Dust 2 and Inferno. I'm not sure they even need Nuke this time. I mean,
Mirage and Inferno, but yeah.
Is that not what I said?
You said Dust 2.
I meant Mirage.
You've got that all jumbled up in your brain right now.
It's hard, man. They were the same veto.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mirage and Inferno should go the way of MVP. We shouldn't need Nuke. If we do, I think MVP will take it. This is another one of those series where it's from the veto, it's pretty much guaranteed to be an MVP win.
I mean, not even from the veto.
Well, yeah, but now that we've seen the veto, especially now that we've seen the veto, it's looking like an MVP win. The question is just going to be, how long will it take them?
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, this series is really, it's MVPs for the taking pretty easily. You just have to go back and look at the history between the 2 teams, and you should see how easy it is, generally speaking, for MVP to beat Gosu. And even before the matchup, veto was presented there, I would have said MVP should 2-0 this.
Oh, 100%.
I would have said they should 2-0 E-Home, though, so there's always that little bit of a caveat.
True.
But now that the veto's down, again, yep, I got to say 2-0 for MVP, but we still have to kind of consider that they do start slow in these tournaments, and I guess maybe they've kind of got that out of the way now against E-Home. This is where they start to consolidate and start to look really good. They're warmed up for today. They've played 3 maps already. They probably don't want to be hanging around any longer than they have to. Who wants to play 6 maps when you can play 5, right?
Exactly. And I mean, they've had, what, a 15, 20-minute break at most between when they ended the last map and right now. So it's not like they've had a lot of time to cool down. They should be able to just coast on with the momentum from the last series. I mean, the last map, despite a few close rounds, was still a 16-5 in the end. Like, it was very dominant from them. So they should be good to just coast into this series, keep going, put that pressure up against Gosu, and they should cruise to a 2-0. Not saying they will, because like we said, safety harnesses, parachutes, all those things. The roller coaster that is Asian CS makes you need a lot of safety devices, but should still be okay.
Yeah, and if they do manage to get the 2-0 here over Gosu, or even the 2-1, excuse me, if they get a win here over Gosu, then up against Vici in the upper bracket final. And like I said, that should be a pretty good matchup, actually, because it's been a long time, I think, since we saw Vici up against MVP, or maybe they've never even really played these Definitely these two current rosters have not played against each other.
Yeah, certainly.
But maybe in the past there would have been a little bit of a go-ahead between the two. But regardless, like it's yeah, very, very cool kind of a matchup there if we do get to MVP and Vici. I think if for some reason Gosu were able to beat MVP today, it should just be Vici to steamroll through them. I think both of these two teams, Vici or MVP, should have more than enough to deal with Gosu. I mean, yeah, like a Gosu, I said, they're not hugely impressive to me from what I have seen so far. They're the second best team in Korea by a long way. But past that, like there isn't that much talent in Korea, you know what I mean? Like when you look at certain regions, I mean, even China, there's probably 3 or 4 teams that are like okay. But I think from Korea, really MVP is the one. And then past that, it starts to get a little bit muddy. I don't think Gosu's a team that's really going to be able to challenge any of the top teams in this competition. But they did beat it. They did beat Flash. So I mean, it's just Asian CS is just so crazy. I don't know how to deal with it.
It's wacky. But like, I mean, even speaking of the Korean scene again, really quickly, we have our 2 top teams, right? They both made roster swaps recently. What do? They just
swap players.
Swap players.
Yeah.
They're not bringing any new talent up from elsewhere in the scene. They're just like, all right, we'll just straight up swap this. So like, it kind of tells you that if the top 2 teams are swapping between each other rather than trying to bring in new talent, that maybe the depth isn't quite there in the region that they would want, perhaps. I mean, not as pass judgment on the region at all. The Koreans are very good in lots of games. Korean players in particular dominate lots of esports. Maybe the CS just isn't as big over there.
Well, the thing I see about the Asian region in general is like every single individual country kind of has its team, but past that, they don't really seem to have too much. Like when you look at Japan, you've got SC Absolute. China, you got Tai Lu at the moment, and pretty much things are kind of getting a little bit muddy there. But we're not sure how Vici's going to go. We're not sure how Flash is going to go. They could be good
because they only just parted ways.
Korea's got MVP, but you never really see too much from Gosu. I mean, you know, you don't see too much out of the teams from Malaysia or the teams from Philippines. They've got some okay teams, but they're never really in there. So you don't kind of get that same sense when you look at the ANZ region. I don't think you kind of have like 3 or 4 teams that are always basically as good as each other. You got your Tainted Minds, you got your Chiefs, your Greyhounds, and your Order. Obviously not anymore.
Yeah, I think that's gonna change.
It could change. It could change, and very much likely will change. But I don't get the same sense necessarily from the ANZ region. I think there's a few teams that can kind of challenge to the same level as what the other guys can do, which you don't see so much from the Asian countries. But
yeah, perhaps. I mean, admittedly, we're biased because we're from here and we watch. Even though you and I watch a lot of Asian Counter-Strike, we still watch a lot more ANZ than we do Asian, just because there's much more access to streams and like. Because when it comes to streams for Asian games, a lot of times we're in. As opposed to, there's a lot more ANZ Counter-Strike that can be taken in. So we do see a lot more, but still, I feel like the depth is growing in Asian countries. Like we're definitely seeing the overall level of Asian Counter-Strike teams rise. It's taking time, but like at the top end, they're improving. Like we're starting to see Tai Lu making deeper and deeper runs. Like at the Major, they had a pretty good start to things. So who knows? Maybe Asian Counter-Strike is slowly taking over the world.
I think it kind of goes part and parcel in with what you were talking about before, because there's, like you said, more streams and not just us casting. Means obviously there's a lot more infrastructure there for the Australian teams as well, so that also helps them up. So
multiple leagues, multiple.
Exactly. If there was a bit more going on in the Asian Counter-Strike region, I'm sure we'd see a few more teams from each country having a pretty good time. But so we are heading into Mirage as our first map, and HSK and the boys on Gosu. We'll start off on the T side now. Lakia, I think for me, is the other one to just keep an eye on here for Gosu. As he did have a fairly decent performance last time I watched them. I guess really Sioke on Mirage especially, a map that is pretty critical to have a good AWP on. And considering Vinizetta has been very dominant on this map in the past.
Now Lakia's gone for no armor here. Interesting decision. Perhaps just gambling. Well, I'm going to get headshot anyway, but interesting to not see him go for utility or anything like that, like the rest of his team are, either armor or util for everyone on the board. But we'll see. Either way, Gosu, slow start on this pistol, and pretty passive setup here, really, for MVP. 3 players over on B, 1 boosted on the box, 1 jump spotting apps, and 1 watching for short there, and then 2 players on A playing retake. So it's worth noting that MVP don't have any direct watch on mid. I'm pretty sure that, who was that second player? I'm pretty sure Minizetta is sitting watching Connector from top of Ticket Booth, and he's got Solo backing him up. No, he's actually not. So they've got no watch on mid at all. Apart from, really, the only thing they've got is that Glow's watching short. That's it.
Well, doesn't really matter at this point, because Ghost is absolutely showing no interest in middle. And toward the B bomb side is where they are headed, which is where MVP does have the 3-man stack. And Zine sitting quite cheekily on the little box in the site. Not always a position that you tend to see checked on pistol rounds, especially late in the round. That is when Gosu is going to be hitting this site. 35 seconds now, the info is given over to MVP. They're going to be backing away from the site, letting Zion do his thing. Lakia will get one, but Zion is stepping up big. 3 kills with the USB. Eventually he does fall, and Solo also gets dropped. So Jinx with 3 kills in the pistol. Bomb's going to go down, but Mini Zeta, the newest addition to MVP, to try and clutch this out 1v2.
He's actually worked his way in here. He's found the gap in the time of these players looking at him, but doesn't matter. Jinx is going to step out with the 1-tap and the Glock. 3 kills for Zion, but answered by 4 for Jinx. Gosu grabbed what was a questionable pistol round. I didn't think they'd actually get away with that. There was 3 players stacked on that B bomb site. They only had 30 seconds when they rushed in there, but they managed to overcome the defenses. Jinx has a great round, and as a result, he'll go straight onto that AK-47. Everyone else on the weaker guns, the Galil, the SMGs. And actually, very late, but it's a force in from MVP. Zion grabbing an SMG there.
Yeah, he did get 3 kills in the last round, so he has a bit of extra cash to play with. Another 3-man stack on to B for MVP. Gosu moving a little quicker this time, clearing out the apartments. It's a split. Some coming up short, some coming through apartment. Zion with the SMG and F with the CZ. 2 openers for MVP, and Gosu starting to capitulate a little bit here. Jinx once again going to be trying to save them with a double kill of his own, but he is losing teammates all across the board. Well, and eventually he's overcome by the numbers.
You don't like to see that. Unfortunately for MVP, they don't manage to grab all the guns out of that, but they do wind up with the AK and the Galil, which were the most valuable ones that were purchased by that T side, so they'll be okay with that. And Gosu, they did such great work winning that pistol, or really Jinx did such great work winning that pistol, and immediately it's all ripped away from them by MVP on those pistols. That one SMG as well doing work for them, and Zion's going to keep that. Judging by his money, I think he dropped an M4 or a FAMAS over to one of his teammates there.
Again toward the B bomb side, and MVP well prepared this time. A grenade doesn't actually do as much damage as I thought it would, and Glow completely flashed out. Does fall over pretty quickly, so that's a little bit of a concern here for MVP, especially because Zeph has been spotted now, and he's under so much pressure. Lakia will get him. Solo drops. What is this game?
Zion's on the flank, but he's made so much noise that they've heard it, and they're now looking for it. Okay, putting a lot of trust in his teammates, but instead just going to step out and remove Zion. Looks like he heard you calling him out because he's stepping up now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't really care if he gets kills with the Deagle. If he can step up with the AWP, that's what I'm looking for.
This is true. Mini Zeta will be able to save for 7-4, but look, there's 2 questions we must ask ourselves here, Jordan. How long will this continue, and what is the A bomb site?
Why has it happened?
That's the 3rd question, but sure. I mean, so far it's been 3 rounds and 3 B hits. We'll see. I mean, very possibly from Gosu, this could well be a play to try and condition MVP to think, hey, we're always going to go B. And if they can do that, maybe they get an extra player of MVP over onto the B bomb site, then they can hit A. Then MVP will be left rotating back and forth in confusion. I mean, I might just be giving Gosu too much credit for rushing B in 3 rounds where they have low buys, but we'll see. We'll see.
MVP is Gosu's map choice.
Buy back in. It was, yeah. They should have some sort of plan.
Yeah, of course, MVP, like you say, they do force in at this point. Everyone's going to continue to force until one team wins 2 in a row. This time, though, it'll be Gosu setting up on the A site, and MVP have got a bit of a stack toward B. So
this is what I was talking about.
That conditioning, like you say, is going to be perhaps troublesome. Solo flashed out behind the smoke. Needs to be wary of Palace, and I think he spotted Jinx there, but nope. Molotov smoke is keeping Jinx safe for that moment, and this is not looking good for MVP. They are rotating across, but they've lost a player. They've lost a lot of HP on Zeph. Gosu can just back out, reset. They've still got 1 minute and 10 on the clock, and now MVP have got absolutely no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, they rotated 4 to B, or 4 to A even. As soon as Solo was under any sort of pressure at all, they were like, all right, everyone get over there. And Gosu have sniffed that out. They've smelt a rat, they've smelt the stack. Now just going to run into an empty B bomb site. Easy as you like. An MVP at this point, they've already decided to save. The only player with a gun that is expendable really is Zeph, and he's on 10 HP, so unless they throw in one of the M4s to hold on to and send one of the other players over with the CZ to try and do some damage, they're just going to be saving, straight up.
Well, there's no point when you've got the head armor there as well. You want to take that through.
Exactly that. So, off the back of 1 kill, Gosu still go B in the end.
It's a decent start for Gosu, 3-1. Looked pretty bad for them when they lost the anti-force buy, but then they win their own, so okay, fair enough.
The problem is, though, we did say that it'll keep going till one team wins 2. Gosu have just done that, but they won't force MVP onto the eco just yet, purely because MVP are saving 3 guns and 4 sets of head armor.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to buy in here again. Solo's only got $900, but if they really want to put the pressure up, they can get everyone to buy out some utility. Maybe Solo just goes for a CZ or something like that. Given that he's the only one, really, who doesn't have a gun, they should... actually, they might not spend the rest of their cash here. No, they're going to drop a CZ over to Solo instead. So it's technically an eco from MVP. They haven't spent a cent, but still got 3 guns. 2 CZs to go along with it as well. 1 that was purchased, 1 that was dropped. Maybe even 2 that were dropped, actually, I lied to you. But still, a round that's important for MVP, because after this, depending on how many kills they get, they might be in a bit of trouble. That's the gap. Could have been the gap in the XQ right there if Solo went for that, but instead he's had to fall back, and now the push is coming into A once again, where he's alone. 4B again for MVP.
And fully flashed out, so he'll be an easy kill. I kind of understand the point of MVP stacking the B site there, but I don't know. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
At least have someone sort of in jungle or something like.
Well, when you've got, the thing is, Solo didn't have head armor. So when you've got limited guns, it makes sense to have all of your players be able to fight together rather than, if they just post up 1 M4 on A site, for instance, that guy's going to die. Doesn't matter how many kills he could get 2, he could even get 3. If they push A, the Solo defender should be traded if he's got an M4.
Yeah.
Or any gun, really. He should never be getting like a 1v5 off. So I guess try and have all your guns play together. That way you can either save all of them once again, or you can, like...
It's a dangerous hole to kind of get stuck in here as MVP just continuing to save round after round after round.
What in the heck did Minizetta just get tagged by?
I don't know.
He was like, deep apps. No one else was near him. No one was up short fast enough to have thrown a grenade, and he lost 70 health. Did he get knifed in the back by one of his team, maybe?
I don't know. Who cares? Doesn't matter.
You're right. But I'm
the
curious.
gun round for MVP. Every single gun round that kind of goes by, they do seem to be getting a better and better buy. But they still haven't actually really challenged any of these rounds. This time it's going to be more of a default setup, so I think the best chance for MVP to win a round now.
Got the 2-1-2 going. Actually keeping an eye on mid this time, and they've got backup on A for Solo. But once again, Gosu, they're going to rush B. Yep. They go A on the anti-ecos when it doesn't matter, get the single player, and now they're going straight back to that B rush where they've isolated Zeph all on his own. What
on earth is going on, MVP? This is a team you're supposed to smash. This is a team that MVP usually 16-4s. And they are just getting demolished.
Look, maybe it's a 16-5 and they win every round other than this one.
Maybe.
From here on out.
Gosu's just like walking out onto sites and killing everyone from MVP.
Yeah, I mean, the only utility that was thrown into apps there from MVP was a grenade, a smoke grenade, maybe a flashbang. But they just ran straight through it because why not? Smokes aren't walls. We're already going on the hunt to try and find these MVP players as well, and that's really unlike MVP for all 3 players on site to drop without getting a frag.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they went down to 3 different people. Sure, it wasn't one guy getting a triple kill, but, like, you've really got to hit those. One of you at least has to get a frag at that point, or else it doesn't matter how good you are. If you've got 3 players on a bomb site and you can't get 1 kill between you, you're going to lose that round. It's just the way it is.
AK for Zion, a bit of an upgrade. Saving the gun through does allow another force here for MVP. Saving 2 guns would have actually been perfect because they would have had a really, really good buy, but well, someone sort of has to miss out. It depends if Minizetta wants the AWP or not. If not, he can drop a gun. Or I guess Zion could just drop 2 and go for no utility himself.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, the utility is what's really going to save them here. It needs to be like Molotovs and flashes and stuff like that, because they've now figured out that every round that matters, pretty much, Gosu's gone B. They went B on the pistol, they went B in the anti-ecos, sure, but then they went A, or not even went A, they faked A, half committed to A once, then still went B. Then MVP put 4 players on B 2 rounds in a row. And the first time they do it, They drop one player on the A bomb site, the remaining 4 save. Gosu say to themselves, right, well, they might just put those 4 guns on B again. We're going to go A. Next round, as soon as MVP buy again, guess what? B rush.
Yeah, MVP is just being read like a book. Surely must be a tactical pause or something.
Oh, must be.
I guess it could be technical based on how long it's been going for, but if it's a tactical pause, it's from MVP. And they definitely have some talking to do, regardless of if this is technical, tactical, what have you. MVP need to take this time to figure out what on earth they are doing wrong here on this CT side.
So far, what they're doing wrong is just getting pushed and not getting a single kill. Like, it's not complicated from Gosu. Their push out of B was like 3 flashes, I think, at most. They ran through a smoke, they dropped a flash close apps, then bounced like too far out. But they just entry'd everyone. Like, I think they took a player on site, then short, then backside. Neither of them or none of them able to land enough bullets to get a kill. And then obviously the remaining players save and just one of them got hunted down, because why wouldn't Gosu hunt at this point? They've not really been challenged. They've got a bunch of money. Might as well commit to the hunt. So MVP, turns out it is a tech pause by the way, but MVP will need to figure something out here because their B's not been working. And most likely what Gosu want them to do here is stack 4 on B again. Because if Gosu go towards B and they get a significant amount of resistance, they're going to go A. Alternatively, if Gosu go towards A and only find 1 player, they'll probably do exactly what they did the last time that happened, which is get that kill, or throw the utility, get that kill, and then either commit to it, or knowing that they've pulled a 4-man rotate over, they'll fall back and go B. So MVP, like, there's no easy solution here. There's no, oh, just stack 4 on B, you'll be fine, because Gosu have already shown, while they do love going B, they're not going to do it every single round. So if they try and play a 1-4 setup with 4 on B, no on mid, Gosu will most likely find that out.
Yeah,
if they play a 2-1-2 and no one can get a kill, then you're going to lose B.
Maybe MVP need to play for some info earlier in the round.
Possibly.
What they have been doing is really quite static and defensive so far.
Yeah, I mean, what could work is maybe, because the Mirage skybox is completely open now, you can smoke anything from anywhere pretty much. There is, I'm not sure if they would know them, but you can smoke top mid from CT spawn. So maybe like, or just throw it from window, you know, whatever you want to do. Maybe like a smoke up top mid and then get 2 or 3 players up in mid aggressively. That way you can either like hold mid control and deny them, or you can do a fast flank onto either the A or B bomb sites, depending on where they go. Maybe that could be the way forward, but regardless, it all comes down to the fact that if you've got 3 players on a bomb site and none of them can get a kill, you're going to lose the round.
Lots of maybes, no definites for MVP. It's 5-1, you know, it's not the end of the world. But I think it's the fashion in which this 5-1 has come about that has looked so good for Gosu and so bad for MVP. They didn't really even try in 2 of the rounds because they had that solo stack. But even the ones that they have actually had a fighting chance in, Gosu's kind of just run over them. So we've got a technical pause here, obviously. I don't know what it is.
Well,
but
I think the server just reset. Yeah,
it could be something to do with MVP having some issues as well. I mean, we've obviously been seeing a little bit of lag, so...
Yeah, this stuttering is either just lag or it's actually the server restarting. Because normally when a server restarts on Matchmatic or whatever, it like restarts multiple times. So we'll see. Maybe that's what's happening now. Maybe not. In the meantime, we'll continue to get some lovely cinematic cameras of Mirage. We can look at things.
That's exactly what I want to be doing.
Excellent.
Looking at things.
Well, fortunately, that's what you're here to do. Here's the thing I didn't know, actually. That little ledge there on the left-hand side of the boost under window, where the roof used to be, you can jump on that. I didn't know that, but I was watching, I think it was Renegades playing Pro League the other day, and one of them did that. And I was like, I didn't know you could do that, so there you go.
There seems to be a lot of things you don't know about this game, Tim, that amaze me.
You're rude.
Like that Molotov incendiary thing.
No, I'm kidding.
God.
I can do it again.
How is that possible?
I don't know. You only knew because Ian mentioned it to you. Thank you very much.
Oh, please. I only knew that you didn't know because Ian told me.
I mentioned it to you. Yeah, that's true. That's fair. That's a better start, though. Glow grabbing the early pick deep in B apps. They've got the double up out now as well, so better from MVP.
It's a bit more what you want to see, isn't it? Like MVP actually trying to make something happen instead of sitting in their bomb sites and waiting for Gosu to just come in there and smash them. Glow and MiniZ be taking the 2 AWPs is a little bit abnormal again. Normally it is solo to take the secondary AWP here for MVP. But it's obviously worked out pretty nicely there for Glow.
It could have been spawn-based. Like if he had the furthest most B spawn and he knew he wanted to get a pick, but they knew they wanted to get a pick deep apps, then give it to the furthest most B player, I guess.
Sioke is lining up smoke alongside the rest of his teammates, so it'll be an execute into the A-bomb site. And it does look like Gosu are going to commit off the back of it. This time it's Zine who is holding close and not Solo. He is going to start to try and put a bit of pressure here on Gosu, but wide swings out, doesn't spot Stacks, and Gosu again, somehow, they just find 3 kills and MVP. I don't know, like, I don't know.
Did they commit through the... They did, they committed through the smokes. I mean, I'm guessing there was flashes over to support that, but they just committed through the smokes mid-execute.
MVP just don't seem to be able to find a kill.
Yeah, like, committing through the smokes while the execute is happening, in theory, is great because you've got players who are busy checking corners because, you know, in an execute, every player has a job, right? You throw this smoke and then you check this corner and then you throw this flash or, you know, whatever. But they run through the smokes, probably with a flash over to help them either way, I'm not sure, but they run through the smokes and just all get shut down. Like, that's... While it can throw off the rhythm of a player who's just trying to do their job and check their corner, if you run into them, they're probably going to kill you. So, another save for MVP. 6 rounds on the board for Gosu, this time with a win towards A.
Yep, another save for MVP. Money is not good. They can still buy, so they will. But eventually this has to stop, surely, for MVP. Like, okay. Yep, double AWP. They had to repurchase 1 AWP, so putting a lot of money in again here, MVP.
Setup change for them this time, going aggressive towards A. They actually managed to get Zine all the way in through A main, but the flashbang was not good enough, but he somehow manages to win that fight against Stacks. Again, MVP are going to find the first pick. We'll have to see if it gets them around this time, as it didn't in the previous round when Glow got that first AWP pick into B apps. COK on the AWP. Going to make his way out through Palace, get some vision in towards stairs, but no one's there just yet. CTs have complete control over A main, though. It's going to be quite difficult for the T's to negotiate. They've either got to push through here and get this territory back or smoke it off from potentially both sides just to keep them in there and then go plant. Looks like instead, though, they're going to move out and go B. HSK is going to throw a bit of utility, but these 2 players in A main, so they'll be able to hear that this pressure isn't coming, but Zine going to get caught out napping by the looks of things. Solo now, big job to do, and he's going to be able to get the 1 kill at least. HSK down, but Solo's going to go for a run straight into the AWP. 3v3.
Oh dear. Zeph doesn't manage to win the aim duel against Lakia. While there is still a player advantage for Gosu, they are headed into the A side up against Minizetta with the AWP. He is the kind of guy that can make something happen here, and he does manage to get across, but tagged heavily in doing so. Glow's going to drop. Minizetta up now would have to have the round of his life if he was going to win this one, but looks like Gosu's going to run away with another round, and again, MVP, despite getting a player advantage early on in the round, they cannot do anything with it. This is just, it's obscene.
They just got too aggro that round. I mean, we'll see if Minizetta is able to get out of here. He's not going to check high, I don't think. Ooh, will. Lakia had the opportunity and did miss that one. Jinx will still clean it up, but yeah, like they got that early kill and they put 2 players in A main. That's great, but then Zine has a player peek him off as no resistance. Solo gets 1 kill and then pushes A main, where of course there's other players waiting. I mean, it's hard because you're in that situation. You're like, you're down a player. It makes sense to go for an information play. Like, he's got a kill. Let's try push through, either get another kill, or I can call it it's clear and that we should rotate over to B. But instead, COK is waiting there with the AWP, grabs the easy kill. Only doesn't get a kill this time because his teammates run in front of his crosshair at the wrong moment. This one's just the pistols out for MVP anyway. It's really not looking good for them here on Mirage. This is twice now. The first map has been, sure, the opponent's pick, but one that's been good for MVP, and they've just not been able to get anything done. Like, we saw the same thing on Inferno, which was one of MVP's best maps, while it was their opponent's pick, eHome's pick last series. They lost that map 16-9. Now they're down 7-1 on Inferno.
I don't really know what's going wrong for MVP today. They definitely are not on their A game, that is for sure. Don't see any reason why they shouldn't be. Aside from the fact that they are up against quote-unquote weaker opposition today.
Yeah, I think that may well be what it is. It's like they just don't take it perhaps as seriously, or without, they just think, oh, we can out-aim them, and then when their aim's off, they don't fall back on strategies quickly enough. I honestly don't know.
A little bit hard sometimes, though, on the CT side. You know, if the Ts are just rolling all over you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's a good start for Mini Zeta, and it will be an AK for Zion, but double molly in there into Palace.
Mini Zeta's dead.
Mini Zeta is dead indeed. But Zion, the player with the AK, is still alive. Zeph does a bit of damage to Lakia, and that will be finished off by Solo. Bomb's down now. If Solo gets that kill, a chance maybe for MVP, but Zion, he's just biding his time and waiting for the opportunity, which is never going to come. Eventually he does get HSK and also drops down right on top of Stacks into the 1v1 against Sioke. Bomb, however, is well and truly planted in favor of Zion, but if he has some smart usage of this Molotov, he might be able to sit on that bomb defuse. Trouble is, though, he doesn't have a kit. So here we go. He's just going to commit to it. Sioke will wait for the Molotov to burn away. And now he'll take the peek and take the round win.
Easy as you like. It was the only play that Zion could make, and it did look like they only thought one player was Palace. They didn't catch the second one there, so it gave Zion the opportunity, but nonetheless, he couldn't convert it. So MVP 8-1. Not what I was expecting. The double orbs out again. Once again, it's Mini Zeta and Globe.
Get Mini Zeta doing something a little bit aggressive in mid, or I don't know what. They spotted the player jumping out mid, and it's of course not going to work.
See, that could have worked with a better flash. Like if there was a flash over mid or a smoke or just anything to give them some cover. You can't always rely on we have a good spawn so we'll beat them mid, because
they can get
sometimes you won't. Exactly. So, I don't know. I like the idea, but it doesn't work. They do get caught out by that. The flash, I think there was a flash, but it barely blinded anyone if it was there. There was no smoke to support it. They get caught out, and of course, Mini Zeta trying to cover his teammate is left exposed. B site is entirely empty. Glow is slowly rotating over, but it's just going to be one player on each lane of the map, really. One on A, one in mid, one in B. Not a lot, really, that MVP can do unless someone has some kind of heroic performance.
Utilities out for Gosu to the B site. And it's just Glow with the AWP. So he needs to go hero mode. MVP on the rotation right now. But it's a fake. Zion will go down to COK. Double AWPs to try and hold off the bomb plant, or potentially try for the retake. Oh, Zeph, so close. We'll get COK, but too late to deny the bomb going down, and that will mean the round is still heavily favorable for Gosu. All these smokes up right now. Zeph does have a defuse kit, but they don't have any utility, and it seems unlikely that they will risk throwing away 2 AWPs for a retake that probably won't work. But that means just another round for Gosu.
Already won the half, and now going to move up to 9-1. Double AWP's going to be trying to be saved here by MVP. HSK might be able to cut them off if they keep pushing, but instead, MVP are more than happy to wait for him. 1 AWP posted CT, 1 watching the jungle wrap. And they will be able to keep both AWPs alive. So that's all right for MVP. I mean, it was a heavy investment. They kept the AWPs up, but there's also only so many rounds you can save. You got to start winning at some point. They haven't been doing that.
They have pretty much saved every single round of this half.
Yep.
I don't think there's been a round where Gosu has killed everybody.
No, I'm not sure there has been, apart from Pistol.
Oh, we got another pause.
Not sure what this pause was just yet. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't.
I hope to God it's tactical.
It's tactical for MVP.
And that was exactly what I was hoping for, because
About
MVP
time.
damn well need it. 9-1 down. They still have the double AWP. I don't think they have money to buy through here. I didn't catch it before we went into the pause.
To be honest, the one thing that's really bad for MVP here is that it's their aim that's really letting them down.
They did have money.
Like,
yeah, and it's uncharacteristic.
Their decisions are fine. Like, the first couple rounds were like they're that 4-stack B. They wanted to save the armor, the guns. That's fair enough. But then there's that gun round where they have 3 on B, and it's just, they're not hitting their shots, and that's the issue.
Quite surprised that they don't manage to hit their shots, though, because they are the team that's warmed up. You know, if either of these teams should be making something happen, should be MVP, and Zeph will get the better of HSK, but we've seen time and time again, MVP open the round up with a kill, and it has not still favored them toward the end of things. There's 2 players left alive now for Gosu. Lakia and Sioke have a very, very tough time now ahead of them. And maybe, just maybe, for MVP, this is going to be finally the round that they were looking for.
Oh, that's the shot going begging.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate for Sioke. I mean, I'm not sure that one would have made too much of a difference in the rest of the round, as they still had 2 players peeking of CT where there was no util, but oh well. MVP went around. There you go. Huzzah, we did it. Well, we didn't do it, they did it.
One round.
Better than the previous. They've doubled their round score. They're alone.
When you say it like that, it sounds great.
It does. If they can bring it back to 6, maybe they're okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. If they can't, then we're in trouble. We're looking at potentially 3 maps, or even a 2-0 for Gosu, given how MVP's Inferno was earlier.
Yeah.
That would be alarming times.
I think Gosu probably feel pretty comfortable at the moment.
Oh, Sign.
Sign's caught with a grenade out. It's just the timing is all off here for Gosu. For MVP. I don't think I've ever seen them like struggle this much. You know, like when they're losing close matches, but this isn't even close.
Yeah, the problem for the design there is like the time to have a defensive grenade out, like a a Molotov or whatever, or smoke, whatever it was trying to drop. The time to have that out is before you need it. Once you can hear footsteps, they're too close. You're not going to get that grenade out in time 98% of the time. Glow has his knife out, even though Minizeta's there and saw him. I mean, he would have had to react really fast to get a gun out there, but still, that should have been calmed quicker, I think, or just calmed at all. I don't know. MVP, I know we're being really harsh, but it's hard not to be when they're having such a tough time against Gosu here, against eHome last series. It's just not characteristic of them at all to be struggling this much. They'll be able to save 2 guns through, but that's a reset to their economy because they won 2 rounds ago. So now they got nothing. They're able to get another AWP out somehow. I'm not actually sure who bought that, but I mean, Zeph's got a bit of cash, I guess. They're able to get another AWP out from somewhere. They've actually got a decent buy together, but still.
The reason I'm so harsh is because I know how good MVP can be.
Exactly. They should be better.
We've
seen them be better.
They should absolutely be better. And they are not even close to... I don't even think they're playing at like 50% right now. Because 50% would be at least keeping a close game here against Gosu. But Zion will be flashed in. 1 for 1.
He actually wasn't flashed in. That was a... I think it was a T grenade. I didn't see a CT grenade trail.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then that's pretty bad.
I don't actually know.
HSK will get the kill onto Solo, but now it's an opportunity again for those AWPs to have an impact. I mean, he's had a flash to allow for the cross. Gosu probe the A side and decide that they are more interested in backing away. They can do that because they've been so quick to get into this A side. I think this is really messing with MVP at the moment. How Gosu is just running all over the map.
I also think Gosu are pretty lucky to get out of that, though.
Zeph will hear all this.
Zeph has heard all of this. He's even going to go get on the flank. Waits for his time, and we'll get that spray happening. It's a little bit too late, but he does get himself for 2 kills in the end. That completely stalls it. Now, okay, at least the bomb fell on his side, but the 1v3 needed. Spots player at short. Goes for the fake plant, trying to draw him out. Will just about be able to get this plant, but in fact just gets baited into the AWP, and that will be the final kill coming through for Glow.
Well, we said that 6 might be enough for MVP. How about 5? Because that's what they can get to.
I'm not even sure 6 would have been good enough, to be honest. 5's going to be an interesting one. Given that their T sides have been, I mean, apart from Nuke, which, I mean, it's Nuke. It's one of their better maps. They should have a good T side on that prepared. That's been their only map where they've had a decent T side. That was 6-0. And that was all I needed to get up from a 10-5. But I don't know. I'm very concerned for the state of MVP. Even if they win this series 2-1, or even if they come back in 2-0 this series, I'm still by no means convinced. The results do matter, sure. The results matter more than the way you get them, yes, but I'm still very concerned. These games are not going as they should.
Tim, I would love to tell you what's happening in this round, but I'll be honest, I don't really have much of an idea.
Yeah, look,
because all I see is Gosu running around in apartments. It looks like MVP's coming away with the better of it, and it is just Stacks left alive. There we go. Yep. Yeah, they're all dead.
Okay, Stacks got one, then got opt. There it is.
Down a terrorist win.
Nice. So that's 4 for MVP. Money is still there for Gosu to invest with, though.
Oh, it looks like we've calmed down a little bit.
We're back. We did it. Excellent.
I see the frames.
Hooray!
Oh. Spoke too soon.
You did. You bend it. I mean, I guess they're called smooths for a reason.
Right. This is just a new Counter-Strike experience that we're so fortunate to be the pioneers of.
Counter-Strike in PowerPoint. New innovation.
Oh, that's a nice shot from Minizetta,
I think. Hit that, yeah. All right, 3 versus 3. Solo goes unchecked in Sam, which could actually make the play here for himself. COK trying to nail the shot, and he will be able to hit that one. Just like that, 2v1. So much for the 3v3. Now we'll have to see what Glow can get done here.
May be able to find HSK if he gets lucky on the timing here, which it looks like he could. He spotted the gun barrel. He did spot the gun barrel, but he can't hit the shot. Gosu get an 11. And MVP will have to settle for 4 rounds.
Ouch. It's a rough one if you're an MVP fan. 4 rounds on Mirage. Man, I'd love to know what's going on in the MVP camp right now, because I'm not convinced. There's only so much you can glean as an outside observer. Like, I'm doing my best to put together why they're losing these rounds for myself so I can try and put words to it, but at the end of the day, a lot of the time it's just come down to they're not hitting shots, and they're shots they really should be hitting. Like, the caliber of these players is so much better than what they're showing us.
Yeah. It's just completely missing.
It's a big old bamboozle.
Sometimes when it comes to Asian Counter-Strike, I always wonder, like, maybe if it's just the server, like, because you normally have, I don't know, let's say a Singaporean team against someone from China or whatever, and you can't find a server that's going to fit for both of them. But these teams are both from Korea.
So the ping isn't an issue.
So it's definitely not an issue, or it shouldn't be. In theory.
Theory is a lovely thing. But when it comes to internet connections, it rarely works out that way, at least in the Australian region. I'm sure a lot of our international viewers have no idea what we're talking about, but for those domestically in the Asian region, I guess, generally, internet access can be a bit iffy. But MVP, gonna pull a Gosu, go for a big old B rush, flashbang and smoke out. It's only HSK here. They've gone for 4 players on a Gosu, so getting a bit of their own medicine there, really. They play a 4-1. The 1 gets rushed. Now they've got a retake. That's actually quite poetic.
And it probably can actually work here for Gosu, just judging by how the rest of this match has gone. MVP have struggled quite extensively against Gosu so far, but Lukia is pretty critical, and losing teammates across the board now needs to win a couple of aim duels of his own, and he also drops. Seems like this one is going to go by the wayside for Gosu. Very important pistol round, though, for MVP. And a win here would possibly allow them back into the map. 6, or rather 5, sorry, will come up for MVP. So they can get up to 7, let's say, best case scenario for MVP before the gun round comes out. Win the first gun round. You get up to 11 to 9. That would be pretty good for MVP.
That'd be a decent spot to be in.
A lot of ifs, though.
Let's just let's make sure they don't get killed by the Biko first, shall we? Or killed by the Force Buy.
The Biko, huh?
Yep. That's the one. The buy, the eco. Glow, while he has gotten 1 and gone down, he's also given a lot of info to his team who are going to go B.
Straight to the site that all the guys were.
Normally that sort of info means you don't go there, but I guess they're feeling confident and they've found the frags, so...
I don't know why you would be feeling confident right now, but they've made it work, so...
Yeah, that's disgusting.
You know, when you said Biko, I thought you meant B-side eco.
That would be cool, but how would you work in A?
Eco. Was that really that hard?
I mean, it's not, whatever. Fine. Fine. You win this round.
Or how about... it was going to not work.
Yep. As soon as you try and work the E in there, it doesn't work. That's where I got stuck.
I thought AO, but then because I was going to replace the C with an A.
Uh-huh.
To try and make AO, but then I realized EAO would make EO, EL, or something like that. So it doesn't really make that noise.
Where are you going with this?
I don't know. Tim, this game is just ruining me, so...
Jordan's in the bin.
Why not? I'm watching MVP lose to Gosu on Mirage, so...
Hey,
you tell me.
Currently, they're not losing.
Well, I mean, they are.
According to the score, they're losing, with the last few rounds they've won. So technically, they're currently in the middle of winning. How technicalities work, isn't it? Something like that. Look, this round, just going to be the pistols for Gosu, not even upgrading. Full save. They're going to put a stack on the A-bomb side as well. And this time, surely MVP won't run into it. Got info going in towards B. They're taking control of mid. Yeah, top smoke thrown for top con. This is going to be a B split. No one's on B. Excellent. MVP have made the right decision. Round's already over.
Better start to the half.
Utility as well. Look at this. They're actually clearing things out. Beautiful. Excellent. I mean, the area they've struggled with is hitting shots, but fortunately we won't see them do that at all in this round. Or we've had to see them use utility correctly, which they've done, so that's good.
If they can avoid the entire CT side every round, MVP could win.
Easy. I mean, look, I'm not going to be all doom and gloom. I think MVP is still well within reach of a comeback here, get into the lead, and then actually close this map out.
Yeah.
But even if they did, I don't know. Like,
still hasn't been what you want to see.
Exactly. That's my whole issue here, as all of Gosu sit in a big old stack that Solo might be running into. This is going to be messy. Hold on a minute. I'll finish that point in a second. This is going to get real rough. The flashbang comes in just in time. And
no!
Oh, dear. Easy ace. Let's go. Let's go.
They all lined up for him. They almost had a kill.
They tried.
No.
You never see the Galil getting a spray down like that, but I guess that's why it's got 35 bullets, right? Got to do something with it. I've also forgotten the point that I was going to make, so let's just watch that again instead. How many of these kills is he blind for?
Like 3.
Actually 3, yes. Beautiful. Right, buy coming through for Gosu now, so they can turn this around. I think what I was going to say was, even if MVP 2-0 this series from here, like if they don't lose a round from the rest of this map and they go 16-11 and then win the next map comfortably, I'm still not going to be convinced just because, you know, the first half was so rough.
Yeah.
They've just been, even though they're getting the wins like last series, they got the win on the board 2-1. It was still
so shaky.
Uncharacteristically shaky, exactly.
Well, I mean, we've got to say, Gosu is pretty good on Mirage, but it's still, it begars belief. Because MVP themselves are good on Mirage, so this should be a close match. See if they're going to do anything here against player stuck in bench. This is looking bad for MVP. 1 for 1s, 2 for 2s. We're starting to see the CTs come out ahead, but Stax misses a crucial spray down. And Minizetta will be able to turn around, calibrate the aim. COK with the AWP. Retake for him here is a little tough, but doable. Side's better of it, backs away.
No armor, no util. Save the AWP, fair enough. If he'd spotted a player on that initial peak, I'm sure he would have committed up for the 1v1 if he got that kill, but no kills presented, doesn't want to risk it, doesn't want to get caught by exiting players or by the bomb, so he'll back off to the other side of the map, save that AWP, and MVP will get their 8th, so this is not bad for them. That was a good little gun round. They just rolled the trades through on the B bomb site, getting in front of all the utility. I think the linchpin for them was really that they got glow out so early. Flashed himself out, jumped through the window, got to the other side of the site, was able to get a bit of a backstab going, and then, like you said, Stax really had to get, we had to land that last kill there.
Remember that scenario I talked about, where MVP can get to 11-9, they win the first gun round? Well, they've done that. They just need to get rid of this next little bit of a pistol buy that we're going to see from Gosu behind the AWP. But they will know that there is a gun saved through, and have to theorize that it's the AWP, given COK was the one that did survive, and they'll know that he is the AWPer. It's a very fast smoke into the B bomb site, and it looks like MVP very quickly will go into the B bomb site. But they will just face up against pistols. Stax flashed out. Gets what on earth? Jinx and Stax 1 apiece. I thought it was Stax to get 2, but in the end, good enough trades from MVP. Jinx, however, is still close on the side, but he'll be dropped. Minizetta is aware. They need to be aware of COK, however. He is the one with the AWP. Lakia burning alive in market, decides to back away. CSGO, the danger. That is why.
Very difficult to dig out the last two players, though. One down on site, Mini setup. Already moving towards the back of Apps, just going to play the bomb from there. CSGO not going to be presented with another kill here. Lakia tries to jump out through the market window and will get caught out. So CSGO is going to back off once again and save his gun. MVP going to hit 9 now, only 2 behind Gosu's score. I mean, they're certainly bringing this back, but I don't know how to feel about this, and I will continue to be unsure how to feel about this until MVP win this map 16-11. Only then will I maybe be convinced.
Yeah. Even this round, like, it was just pistols for Gosu, and it's pretty close.
Where's that bomb explosion? Come on. Thanks, Jordan. Come on, bomb. Good boy.
Terrorists win.
There we go. Just got a Jordan sound pack now.
That's everyone buying guns?
Yep.
Beep. Does the round timer go
The last 3 seconds
10
click.
seconds? Yep.
The last 3.
Beep, beep.
And then we run places. So who wins your theoretical sound pack base round here?
Guess what that is?
The bomb exploding?
That was the smoke.
Okay, that was the smoke.
That was smoke to A main.
Uh-huh.
Smoke in the sniper's nest.
Yep.
Flashbangs. T's are taking control of mid. They're throwing some flashbangs in mid, and the AKs... Oh, that didn't really sound like an AWP. That was kind of like a laser rifle.
Reminds me of that game they did at the major where it was like they got pros to imitate the sounds of guns and their teammates to guess which ones they were. That's you right now. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I
did see that.
to do it.
Yeah.
It was good.
Oh
man.
Well,
Cool.
that was interesting.
I had fun. I enjoyed your little gun sound.
In my ideal world, Tim.
Yep.
In my ideal
Tell me
sound
about it. Lay it out.
word, MVP win that round because I
And
started
all the
to
others?
see them. Hey.
And all the others?
Well, yeah, actually, I'd like to see MVP win this map because I'd like to see them restore a little bit of my faith. But just waiting for that, really. They're kind of getting there. They're doing okay here on this CT side.
Yeah, they're doing better. I mean, they're, 11-4 up to 11-9 now? So they're certainly making the comeback work, but the fact that they're this many rounds down in the first place is not confidence-inspiring.
Okay, guys, obviously there are some issues going on, so I think it's time for us to head to a quick break, but we'll be back with the map of Mirage when it's ready. Hi everyone, welcome back. We are into the game. I believe it's 11-9 favoring Gosu, judging by how things did end in the last round that we saw. But we're on 0-0. I think it should get reset as soon as the round here does end. But anyway, MVP, they've started off well, and it's looking like they might go up to 11-10. Gosu's money not looking so good, so they decided to just back away and save. And MVP making a bit of a comeback now on the T side.
Yeah, they've been making a comeback for the last little while, but good to see they're continuing it to what we believe is 11-10. We will know as soon as the bomb goes off, as soon as one team technically wins. We're going to have to do some maths here to figure out who is who. All right, that's Stacks. Looks like the names in the kill feed are a little bit different for now. That's okay. We'll be fine. Zeph on the hunt.
Every gun here that MVP manages to take away from Gosu is going to be a huge bonus. Glow will have a chance of his own here. Smoke will mean, though, that he's not going to be able to find a kill. So, 3 guns through for Gosu. Good news for them. And they'll be able to buy through here again as a result. Money will still be fairly low, though, on that CT side. So, every round important for MVP at the moment. They have so much money, though.
And for Gosu, so far 0-6.5. Need to make a bit of a comeback into this one if they do want to have a chance of winning Mirage. They had a great first half.
Solo 0-16. What are you doing, man? Like Jinx is 0-12.
Wow, these guys are total noobs.
0-13 now.
And Glow's 10-0. What a god.
Wow.
All right,
carrying the team. Oh, Zeph.
It's fine. The scoreboard will figure it out eventually. In the meanwhile, Lakia has grabbed himself 2, holding off this A bomb site push. And the remainder of MVP are sort of everywhere. One has worked his way into jungle. Actually, that's a huge position for Solo to be in because they don't know that he's there just yet. And MVP now going to wait for Solo to make a play if they can. Hopefully he can find a kill, make some space for them before the bomb comes in. Instead, they're going to rotate B and leave Solo here. Either that or they're going to try and work their way through Con.
Might not be the worst of ideas. Depending on what timings Solo takes as he does come out. I got to assume that the connector is broken, so he won't have to make noise.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
No, they just ran past it.
That's
no
actually pretty big.
No one went into mid-window this round.
Oh, no, it's
it is now.
Maybe he broke it just then.
Yeah, I think he might have.
MVP, though, will make their way toward the B site. Some utility there, though, does give away some of their intentions. 30 seconds left on the clock. They don't have much time to work with. Solo is going to be that pincer wrap up short, and he's already gathered quite a lot of positioning. This timing might not be too great for Stacks, and it won't be. You could see he just wanted to flick his aim over onto Solo, but the timing wasn't quite there for him, and he does get shut down. CSGO will be dropped as well by Solo. That's a perfect take into the B site from MVP. Just the timing. So good for them. And Gosu left scratching their heads after that one. This will also be a bit of a resetty spaghetti for Gosu.
That could have been the nade that got him the last kill if he threw it into window, but the gear will survive for now. So actually, almost wasn't considering the vent. Now he's just checking back and forth, but I think he will get away just in time. Timing not going to go against him here, so MVP going to make it even. 11-4 to 11-11 has been the half for them.
Does it sound like there's two bombs to you?
Yes, I definitely just heard two bombs beeping. It's not just you.
Well, you know, two bombs better. It means you win 2 rounds at once.
Sure.
11 apiece, though. And it has been a little while since MVP have had such a close scoreline here on Mirage. In fact, they haven't been equal to Gosu in a very long time indeed. But now's their chance to actually sneak away a victory here. It didn't look like it was going to be possible after that first half. They were just getting utterly demolished. But all of a sudden, into the second half, things changed quite a lot. And I'm not sure why.
Now MVP at least have managed to tie up the scoreline. Looking to make a deep run into this game from here. It will be quite the streak if they went from 11-4 all the way to 16-11, but sooner said than done in the meantime. Early smoke used by the CTs to gain themselves some positioning in apps. They do have 2 players up here, and they're going to re-smoke it by the looks. Locking out MVP for another 20 seconds or so. Just at the right time as that previous smoke fades, and that will allow HSK to get nice and close up here in apartments. MVP, though, complete control of mid, looking to go for a B split here, which could be a little bit vulnerable for Gosu, given that all of their presence on B is inside the apartments. No one actually watching short at all. And that is where these T's looking to come from. Solo's going to destroy Stacks as well. HSK, big work to do, and he will get the first kill, but can't get the second.
If he got 2 there, actually, that was the bomb dropped, and MVP probably lose the round, but he just cannot quite do it. The trade is good. Zion will plant the bomb down. Fairly open plant from him as well. Now Gosu have to figure out if they want to go for a retake here or not. I guess if you're CSGO and you see that, you probably don't want to be doing too much.
I'm not going out there, guys. It looks dangerous. I'll just be back here.
That's like when you're watching like a cartoon or something and someone's like, charge! And then they just get hit by an arrow in the head or something like that.
And you're like, oh, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
It's a no from me, Chief. Already Zeph on the hunt as well. CSGO misses a crucial one, loses the AWP. Ball on the key now trying to save that AK-47. And Apps, he is safe. Once again, 2 bombs. Billy MVP gaming the system by planting 2 bombs at once. Twice as much to defuse. 12-11 though. They've actually got themselves into the lead for the first time this game, actually. Because they won pistol, then Gosu forced back with 2. So this is the first time the entire game that MVP had been in the lead.
Yeah, it's a tactical pause from Gosu now. I don't know why they need a tactical pause after having 30 minutes of break time. Obviously losing a pretty important couple of rounds here though, so let's be real. This is trying times now for Gosu.
Certainly is.
Their money's pretty bad. So We're within striking distance now of MVP closing this map out.
And if they can, should be a 2-0 heading into Inferno.
Wow.
Should be. Should, with a giant asterisk next to it that says, probably will not be.
MVP should be able to beat Gosu easily. But
well, I mean, the second half, it has been easy.
It's only half the story, though.
They're currently, what, on an 8-round streak? You're right, it is, but, I mean, yeah, I guess we'll take the 8-round streak where we can.
Well, money's, yeah, well, not great for Gosu, but they're able to scrounge together a buy. Oh. How'd that miss?
I don't know how any of those AWP shots missed their mark, but there's another one missed from CSGO. Does allow Jinx to get close and connect. There's either a grenade or an AWP wall bang, doing a considerable amount of damage to the CT AWP up. And HSK smoking out bottom of Con. Does create some space for Jinx here to work with. Lakia can turn around as well to help him out if they do to go for a con take here on MVP, but it's a very mid-heavy setup here from Gosu. You can see Lakia has to continue alternating between looking at Palace, looking at A main, and helping out with Con. It will be a Con split. Only now is Zyne starting to get back towards A, and Jinx has a big job to do. Goes for the wide pick, and we'll get one, but the trade comes through. And that will allow the push to come into this A-bomb side as the flash goes through the smoke.
Yeah, Glow has managed to get across, but that's not the bomb. Solo's going to throw down a flashbang, and that is going to get him across. Bomb plant in an open position. HSK could deny it. No one watching Connector for MVP. What is going on? Solo luckily on the ball there, but no one's watching CT. Oh, Zeta. HSK and Lakia go down. Oh, jeez, what a crazy round for MVP, but they managed to come away with the advantage. That could have just as easily gone the way of Gosu, though. Where's the cover?
I don't understand, to be honest with you. Look, MVP is still winning rounds. They're at 13-11 now. They need just 3 more for what would be quite the impressive, flawless 12-round T-side if they can pull this off.
Yeah.
Currently sitting at 9 of the required 12.
Gosu's map pick.
Yeah,
why didn't MVP choose to start on T?
Because they thought they'd be good at... I don't know.
Thought they would be good at CT?
I don't know. I can't answer that question for you, Jordan. If I knew anything in detail about why MVP have done anything that they've done so far tonight, then this afternoon, whatever time it is in Australia.
It is 7 PM almost.
Yeah, okay. Tonight.
So we've been going for 6 hours, and this is our 4th map.
Excellent. And so
we're going up for 5 hours. We started at 2.
And so far, 2 of our maps have been single digits.
Yeah.
16-9, 16-12, 16-5, this one. Right. Well, that aside, Gosu only with the saved M4 still up in their hands. Everyone else just buying in to a pistol. Some armor for Lakia behind his CZ as well, but just sticking around $2,000 to $3,000 mark, and Lakia finds his way into A main and gets 1. Can't retrieve the gun, and his teammates can't capitalize on that, but damage is damage. MVP still they want to go over towards B here. With just Zeph left to make some noise over on the A-bomb site, maybe, or instead just picking up. Actually, he's just going to throw both AKs away. All right, fair enough. Getting the AKs out of reach of the CTs. Why not at this point?
Fair enough.
As MVP will split up, go for the mid-take here. So should be able to do easily. Jinx just with a deagle. If he pulls off a 1 dig here, it'd be one of the more disgusting shots we've seen all day. Surely Solo won't give him the opportunity. And then the bomb will go take B. So Solo spotted. Stack's actually in a crucial position here. He's the only one with the gun, and he's the one holding this push. If there's anything that Gosu have that can win in this round, it's this position, this play.
That's exactly right. If COK would have got one with the deagle, throws a little bit of a disarray there for MVP. 1 for 1. COK does drop. And that is a good enough of a take for MVP.
I almost reckon for Stacks, he could have just let his teammate hold short and just tried to play for the van push, try and drop bomb, but he did try and help out his teammate. Didn't go well for him. Now it's all on Jinx, 1 versus 3. Not a lot that he can do. Maybe find a kill. Okay, there's a nice one on Domini Zeta. Not going to get too much more, surely, but damage is damage, I suppose. It's not going to hurt their economy, but it's going to make him feel better.
Yeah, damage is damage, you say, but when the enemy team has 2 players that are hitting 16k and everyone is above 12k, 13k even.
Yeah,
I don't think the damage matters.
It's going to make him feel better.
MVP can probably buy the rest of this half out.
What do you mean probably? Unless they buy like Dak every round, then
Well, you never know.
they can. I was going to say Negevs, but they're laughably cheap now.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason. It was a thing that they were testing and are testing for a long time.
No one buys them anyway, so.
I mean, speak to my housemate, he loves them.
14-11.
Mid-take for MVP. Lots of utility use. They're going to get out there nice and freely. CSGO has to try and watch this one, but he's completely blinded out. Not going to be able to hit this shot at all. Jinx can't find it either. CSGO going for no-scopes at this point and hits a no-scope collateral because, of course, you do.
MVP, that's all gone wrong, hasn't
That's
it?
his first 2 kills since the reset, apparently, if the scoreboard is to be trusted.
Started okay for MVP, but it's fallen apart.
CSGO's just hit 3. Crucial kills. Saving his team there. He has missed a couple of sitters tonight, but at least he's actually hitting some shots as well, so take that one. Take those.
Zone is in a tough position here. Can't really move.
Especially with HSK coming on the flank.
He's got a lot of
They
utility.
do have a lot of utility,
Yeah.
exactly. They can force CSGO off this line, but it all comes down to, like, that Molly's not going to touch him. It just might make it difficult for him to see.
Thing
It
is,
all
he doesn't
comes
have a
down to this
smoke.
flank from HSK.
There was no smoke, so
That's
they
all he's
couldn't
looking
cross.
for it.
Whoa.
Now, CSGO's found the first 3 kills, but his teammates have fallen around him. He's got an ace, but he's actually rotating before them. He can push all the way up into Apps here, hold this line. He can beat them, but...
No confidence, maybe?
He's second-guessing it. He's second-guessing it. And he should hear the footsteps behind him. No, they started walking. That's a feels bad. It's unlucky for CSGO. I decided that they were going to be going back A. Oh, that's why they threw a fake smoke out from top mid. Because you can smoke anything from anywhere. That smoke will be enough to draw him away. And I think at this point, he's going to have to save. He looks like he wants to go for it. I suppose he wants to stop him getting 15 if he can, but he's already got 3 kills. 2 more are going to be incredibly difficult to find. Could have spotted the jump, but I don't think he did. So we'll be backing out and saving. 3 kills for him, none for the rest of his team. 2 players up for MVP, 15 rounds on the board.
Money will be bad for Gosu.
Oh, it'll be shocking.
Money's going to be great for MVP.
It's been great for a while. So, if you do the maths, looks like MVP are all on set to go 12-0.
Never was good at maths.
Well, I mean, we both have a long-standing rule to not do maths on stream because we always just end up being stupid and not doing it right. So, either way, though, it has been 11 straight for MVP. They now look to make it 12, having a flawless T-side. After getting 11 forward, they go 12-0. Of course, as predicted. Here it is. It's a quick scope as well. Excellent.
$15-11. Money, like I said, not great for Gosu there, but at least they can scrounge together the buy. Lack of head armor, but whatever, I suppose, on the CT side. As long as you can get that utility, get the guns out, you still have a chance.
Right then, let's see what MVP have got for us here and what could be the final round in what, admittedly, it was interrupted by a bit of a technical issue there, but it has been really a very impressive T-side. They haven't lost a round. They've completely ruined Gosu, and they're continuing to do that. CSGO just not looking at the corner, looking at the angle properly. It's a free kill going over the way of Zion. Pressure will be towards B from MVP. A couple players going through unders, the bombing apps. And Stax is rotating out of B for some reason. They're putting all of their players in mid. I guess they want to get aggressive and try and stop MVP before they do anything, but it's not at all worked.
It's not going to work either. Jinx will drop. That'll be it. MVP close the map out. 16-11. Not dropping a single round on their T side. The second half so good there for MVP. First still did leave a little bit to be desired though. Still a bit of a shaky day I think for MVP, but they've still got more work to do here. Just the first map there against Gosu, if anyone has just joined us. 1-0 now for MVP. And we've still got the rest of this best of 3 to play out, but MVP get the first map, moving on to Inferno, their map choice, their best map on paper. Everything looks set for MVP to get a 2-0 in this matchup.
Yeah, but that was actually very impressive there from MVP to go from 4-11 down to winning 16-11, not dropping a single round on their T side. It's very, very good indeed for them. So look, MVP looked a bit better this matchup. Like obviously that first half was still very, very shaky indeed, but second half, I mean, you can't ask much more than a 12 OT side when you need one. Like, that's as good as it gets. So hopefully things will be better for them as we move into Inferno. And then following that, we've got Nuke as our final map. So regardless, just like in the last series, MVP should be good for the 2-0 no matter what, the 2-1 even, no matter what happens. But hopefully for them, they'll be able to grab that 2-0 because it's been a really shaky afternoon and evening of CS for them. They've not looked their best at all. They looked fabulous during that second half there, but it's been a very difficult night for them. So I think for sure the 2-0 here will just be a nice little bit of boost of confidence before they head into their game against Vici if they do manage to get past Gosu here.
Yeah, definitely. That match against Vici is going to be a bit of a struggle here for MVP. Like we've said already, they have been a bit shaky so far today. If they go up against Vici in this kind of a form, I don't know how easy it will be for MVP to win that. But they could just jump onto Inferno here and probably wreck Gosu, and then we're going to be like, great, MVP's back to their old form.
Maybe. I mean, I'm still not going to be convinced by any one map just because we've seen so many other shaky maps from them tonight. But
yeah,
hopefully Inferno goes well.
Well, there'll be time for them to practice in the period between if they win this match and then going up against Vici and what they're going to do with that team. I'm sure they'll be jumping in on some ESEA servers, having a bit of that aim practice, as I'm sure you love to. I'm not sure how much Counter-Strike you play these days at a level that's good enough to be on ESEA, because I know that struggle. I'm sure you're a bit of a better player than I am.
They have the lowest rank on ESEA there for a reason, right?
You're right.
For me to play in.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's, well, for us to talk about, I suppose, and not necessarily for these guys in the server, because they're definitely a little bit better than that. But obviously, another map to come up here. We will find out how that's going to go when we get back from the break.